Welcome to Radio 64.
Amphiposhidauta megon theon, Amphiposhidauta akomaidi, Amphiposhidauta megon theon, Amphiposhidauta akomaidi, Amphiposhidauta megon theon, Amphiposhidauta akomaidi, Amphiposhidauta megon theon, Amphiposhidauta akomaidin, Poseidon, Geionchen, Poseidon, Egnosingen, Poseidon, Geionchen, Poseidon, Egnosingen. Amphiposhidauta megon theon, Amphiposhidauta akomaidin, Amphiposhidauta megon theon, Amphiposhidauta akomaidin. Shele Poseidon, shele Poseidon, shele Poseidon, 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 Geionchen, Poseidon, Egnosingen, Poseidon, Geionchen, Poseidon, Egnosingen, Poseidon, Geionchen, Poseidon, Egnosingen, Poseidon.
Welcome to Radio 64, Video Game Music Remix Radio. I'm your host, Eric Mickles, also known online as DusKvstweak. Radio 64 is part of the Radio Meanwhile network. You can visit radiomeanwhile.com for more information about this and other great podcasts. Share your thoughts on this episode and request music by following the show on Facebook or Twitter at Radio64Pod. Please rate, subscribe, and share this show on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. We opened the show with Poseidon at the Cinema by Malcos from OCRemix.org from the game Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I really dug those really deep vocals, but also that really heavy cello strings going on in there. It has a really fun combination of that electric guitar with that orchestral sound, but I felt like those cello strings, or at least I hope they're cello, added a real dark quality to that. So that's a really cool track. I haven't played Assassin's Creed Odyssey yet, but when I bought my Blue Yeti microphone, they just threw a copy in there on Uplay, so I own a copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It looks pretty. It looks gorgeous. I'd like to play both Origins and Odyssey, but I gotta play Assassin's Creed 2, because I played the first one, and I really didn't like it. Up next is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, a game I didn't even know existed until now, but released on the NES as well. Of course there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game. It's just right for that. I mean, you want to see the four brothers getting along, you want to team up to fight Shredder, but the idea of just having everybody duke it out together with their crazy cast, yeah, of course. This track is some crazy aggressive electric rock synth. It's all over the place. The percussion in this track is what really does it for me, which is really perks my ears up. The percussions at the beginning that go on, and then that wild mallet solo. This track just kind of goes all over the place. It's chaotic, just like the Turtles themselves. This is Front Move by Eightman from OCRemix.org from the game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. That was Front Move by Eightman from OCRemix.org from the game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. I hope the point of that mallet breakdown was to imagine the turtles in their shells being drummed on, because that's exactly what I thought of. You can't put percussions like that in a Turtles game and not have it relate to the turtle shells. Always excited to see new World of Warcraft remixes. This one's a cinematic take, a symphonic take, if you will, going for that epic fantasy adventure sound that World of Warcraft is so ripe for. You're getting a couple of the sources remixed in here, the Elwyn Forest, the Legends of Azeroth, and the Barrens. So a whole bunch of legacy World of Warcraft tunes being remixed in this big bombastic style. Feels a little bit Hans Zimmer. Sounds a little bit Two Steps from Hell at times. So a really cool take here. This is Legends of Warcraft by PSK from OCRemix.org from the game World of Warcraft. That was Legends of Warcraft by PSK from ocremix.org from the game World of Warcraft. Now, I know we did a Donkey Kong Country spotlight a few episodes ago. I know this. One thing I didn't know was that there were a whole bunch of DK tracks that I wasn't even aware of on the site. I guess I skipped 2017 because I keep finding all these tracks from that year that I haven't even listened to. And this one is remixing the Life in the Mines track from Donkey Kong Country. One of my favorite tracks from the game, but one that isn't as represented as, the Aquatic Ambience or Fear Factory. So I was really excited to hear this. And this is just some great electric guitar work going on. And with all the echoing and the reverb, it feels like NyxTheShield is rocking out with that electric guitar in these mines, in those echoey caverns. It's as atmospheric as David Wise's original track, except this one wants to melt your face. This is Blazing Mines by NyxTheShield from ocremix.org from the game Donkey Kong Country. That was Blazing Mines by NyxTheShield from ocremix.org from the game Donkey Kong Country. Great, one of my new favorites. So glad I found that. And a whole bunch of other like Fear Factory and Crystal Cave tracks that I don't understand how I had missed them. So I was really excited to go back and find these tunes. Of course, I found them after the DK special, but you know what? We're going to keep going. We're going to keep playing Donkey Kong Country mixes. All right, this thing is wild. This track is a long one. Sit tight for the next 15 minutes because this Super Mario Kart medley is all over the place with some great fusion jazz. Feels like the progressive rock version of jazz, this track, with all the different things it's doing. I mean, there's so much good music in the original Super Mario Kart that you'd want to do a medley like this. One of the things I love is when they get to the end and they start singing about the Rainbow Road. It's all instrumental for the whole thing, but then you get to Rainbow Road and they just have to add in the vocals, and it's so fun. This is A Road That You Go by DrThrex and DiscoCactus from OCRemix.org from the game Super Mario Kart.
It's called a road, it's called a rainbow road. It is a road that you go. It's called a road, it's called a rainbow road, and you will know when you get there. It's a road called Rainbow Road, it's a road we're all gonna go. It's a road called Rainbow Road, it's got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's a road called Rainbow Road, it's a road we're all gonna go, we'll go.
It's Rainbow Road, it's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again, Uncle. It's Rainbow Road, it's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again on Rainbow Road. Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's a road we're all gonna go. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad.
That was A Road That You Go by DrThrex and DiscoCactus from OCRMix.org from the game Super Mario Kart. Good to see you. I feel like we haven't talked to each other in a long time. How long's it been? But yeah, I was so excited when I heard that track, and I realized I could fit it in if I talked fast enough this episode. You know, I feel like we do this a lot now because she's so prolific on OCR, but RebeccaETripp has 2 tracks out right now from Final Fantasy X, and so what a great excuse to do one of those double track specials. So we're going to let both of her new tracks just bleed into each other. They both come from Final Fantasy X. We're starting with Macalania Shaman, so the Macalania Forest track from Final Fantasy X, and then A Maiden's Prayer, you know, the Song of Prayer track from Final Fantasy X. Great tunes in general. And the second one is a vocal track as well. And I think RebeccaETripp really nails the sound of that reverent prayer track that you get in Final Fantasy X. And that kind of ethereal vibe that's going on whenever you're dealing with the religious groups in Final Fantasy X. It's a very pretty track. Both these songs are a great listen, so I'll see you when the two of them stop. So, this is Macalania Shaman and A Maiden's Prayer by RebeccaETripp from ocremix.org. Both songs from Final Fantasy X. That was Macalania, Shaman, and A Maiden's Prayer, both by RebeccaETripp, both from Final Fantasy X, both from OCRemix.org. All right, up next is a track coming from Street Fighter III Third Strike, Fight for the Future, that title. Yeah, a real punchy track right now with some real grungy guitar work going on, but it's a fast-paced track. It's a fast song for a fighting game. You got some SFX vocals in there coming from the Urian stage, the crazy chill jog from Street Fighter 3. Street Fighter 3 has such a fantastic soundtrack. I love it. It's the Street Fighter game that has really taken over most of my headspace these days. It's the one I tend to think about and the one I put on the most now when I'm by myself. I just love the aesthetic of the whole game, and the music is just so cool. It's such a unique and special game in video game history. So this is A Reflection of Tyranny by Arvangath from OCRemix.org from the game Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Fight for the Future.
Get ready to die.
That was A Reflection of Tyranny by Arvangath from ocremix.org from the game Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Fight for the Future. Either in remix form, in a regular form. Street Fighter 3 is a soundtrack that I'm listening to on a regular basis these days. Love it. I'm really partial to that Akuma stage, but it has so many great tracks, especially with that hip-hop influence. Just makes it really stand out in the landscape, especially in like the Street Fighter games themselves. You know, I was really excited to see that OCR had put up a Stardew Valley track, their first Stardew Valley remix on the site, and then I saw that it was Michael Hudak, and I was interested. I was a little hesitant because Michael Hudak has done a lot of really glitchy experimental music that I think is interesting, but tends not to be something that I will sit down and listen to on a regular basis. But I think this is definitely their most accessible track. Less experimentation, I think, but a very lo-fi chill sound to this whole tune. A lot of synth work is going on in here that it isn't just your standard fare, so there's still a lot of Hudak's unique skills and experimentation, but I think that it's coming from the Fall track, the Ghost Synth track from Stardew Valley, and I think that's already a very low-key, very relaxing track. I mean, so much of Stardew Valley's music is just music to put you in this very peaceful, contemplative state, and I don't think Michael Hudak is rocking the boat there. I think they're just really elevating it a bit, maybe making it even more ambient if that's possible. This is Tomorrow's Starting by Michael Hudak from ocremix.org from the game Stardew Valley. That was Tomorrow's Starting by Michael Hudak from ocremix.org from the game Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a game that really made me look at my life at one point, really made me get introspective playing that game and realizing how lovely it was and how much purpose my character had in that game, and really started making me think about life goals. I really had to take a step back and I don't know, take stock of my life at the time. In a way, Stardew Valley became my therapist for a whole bunch of hours. There you are, you're just fermenting all this fruit, you're getting all the duck eggs, you're giving gifts to the townsfolk, and I'm just like, am I doing what I want to be doing? That's a good question, Stardew Valley. So, lovely game, lovely track right there. Kind of a rockin' club piece up next. A really rockin' club piece, but no surprise that it's coming from Streets of Rage, which has a very club atmosphere, kind of a nighttime electronica of the city that only Streets of Rage can get. This one is really leaning into that club sound with some a bit more aggressive instrumentation throughout. I think it feels a little bit like it's about to boil over. Maybe the rage of the streets is about to boil over, and it's up to our heroes to stop that. But this is The Last Dragon by Mr. 44 from ocremix.org from the game Streets of Rage. That was The Last Dragon by Mr. 44 from ocremix.org from the game Streets of Rage. The original attack was called Attack the Barbarian by Yuzo Koshiro. So, you're going to get something aggressive out of the Attack the Barbarian. And yeah, I enjoy playing the first Streets of Rage quite a bit these days. It's a lot of fun, but it's hard to play with two people. Me and my wife are playing it together, and she'll just throw people into me and then I'll take damage, or she'll punch the people that I'm holding and then I'll take damage. The point is, my wife makes sure that my character takes damage in Streets of Rage. That was the last track of the episode. Thank you for listening to Radio 64 Video Game Music Remix Radio. I have been your host, Eric Mickles, also known online as DusKvstweak. Radio 64 is part of the Radio Meanwhile Network. Visit radiomeanwhile.com for more information about this and other great podcasts. You can share your thoughts on this episode and request music by following the show on Facebook or Twitter at Radio64Pod. And please rate, subscribe, and share this show on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.